So this video is basically an introduction into Bityard. So if you've not already heard of it, it's basically a leverage style margin trading platform similar to that of Bybit or Binance in many ways, BitMEX, you know, the list goes on, but it's one that I've found to be pretty much superior to the others, and I've started to move all my assets over into it, so all my margin trading is going to take place on Bityard from now on. Now there's a few reasons I'm doing this, and I'll list the reasons below, but the first reason is that it's got the lowest fees that I've found on the market. So low fees means more money for me, basically. The general rate is 0.05% on a 24-hour rolling period for any trade, and I know that Bybit, which is the one that I've been currently using, is more than that. It's 1.75, and it doesn't sound much, but when you start adding leverage to your trades, I mean, you know, it adds up quite dramatically. So low fees is a no-brainer. Second to that, and one of probably my most favorite, is that not only is there a whole range of cryptocurrencies that you can go long and short on, but you can also trade commodities like oil, natural gas, gold, silver. All those kind of things are on there, and major indices. So the Nasdaq's there, the DAX is there, the nickel is there. All of those things are all there, and they're all traded with Tether. So to have all of these things that I trade on several different platforms in one place, I found very useful. Another reason is that it's authorized and regulated, and they're quite transparent with that. So if you've been paying attention recently, BitMEX has come under fire recently because they're not towing the line, and then there's this big worry in the crypto sphere that other major leverage traded platforms aren't doing the same, and that the crosshairs are aiming on them, and they're gonna the trigger will be pulled. So with Bityard, like I say, they're nice and transparent. You can see the certificates on there. You can see where they've been, where they've been regulated within, and so it alleviates that kind of fear. Because the last thing you want is all your assets in one place, and then suddenly the rug is pulled beneath your feet. You're not going to really have that problem with Bityard. And there's plenty of daily freebies, which I'll get into shortly. There's also freebies for setting up your account. So I've set a link. There's a link below this video in the description, and take yourself through that link to set up an account, and you'll see that you'll get some free USDT, some free Tether for going through the steps of setting up your account, and that Tether will be used to offset trading fees for you. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into looking at the platform. So this is the trading platform here. So very much like many others, so really intuitive layout, nicely set up, and one of the most impressive things that they've got here, which most of these other trading platforms lack, is that they have a demo account. For the sake of this tutorial or this introduction that I'm making for you here, we're going to use the demo account, but you also have a live account, which is where your real money is, your real tether, your real assets are, but you also have a demo account, and this will be very useful for those of you who are new to margin trading, because margin trading is it can be extremely profitable. Okay, it's one of the best things you can do if you get it right. You can make lots and lots of money on it, but there's a risk. Everything comes at a risk, and the risk is that you can lose everything to a zero. So you know, when it comes to margin trading, experience counts. You know, do your homework, learn technical analysis, you know, plan your trades, but like everything, practice and experience does count for a great deal. So in order to get that practice and experience, you know, you don't necessarily have to be using your own money. You can use the demo account, and so long as you treat it seriously, you can get the hang of the way that you set up your trades. So for the sake of this intro, so for the sake of this video, we're going to use the demo account. So like I say, you set up your leverage at the side here. The minimum would be 5x, which is actually quite high, but the absolute max is 100x, and that's on crypto like Bitcoin. Now, like I said, you can trade in derivatives, so crude oil, copper, gold, silver, mini Dow, Nasdaq, natural gas, China A50. So there's your indices and your commodities that can all be traded here, and these do trade at even higher leverage. They actually trade as up to 200x leverage, and the reason for that is that they're not seen as volatile. So even though a 200x is really high, an asset which is not seen, well, until recently, I'd say, as extremely volatile. the risk is lower. However, 200x is extremely high for anything, but the option's there if you want to use it. But like I say, the minimum would be a 5x, which is still relatively high. But so long as you've got your take profit and stop losses all set up, and you planned your trade, you should be okay. So speaking of planning trades, one of the useful setups that you've got here is in your settings, and you can see that the trading fee rates for this, which is, I'm using crude oil here, so a commodity, is actually 0.025, so half the trading fee than you would get on cryptocurrency. So extremely low fees here. When you think about Bybit is a 0.075, this is much lower trading fee than that of something like Bybit. So in settings here, so this is how you'd set up every single trade. I have my stop loss ratio at 5% loss. If I've lost 5% or just over 5%, my trade will be automatically stopped out, which is a nice little setting to have. Now obviously, I'll set this trade up for the sake of this video, so this is how I automatically have it set up. So I'm not prepared to lose any more than 5%, and my take profit is automatically set at 300%, which is ridiculously high. I'll be changing that shortly, but for the sake of this video, I am going to take a trade. Now, because this is a demo account, I'm not overly concerned about making or losing money. This is just for the sake of making this video. But looking at this chart here, we are in an uptrend, quite a clear uptrend. But for the last, on this 15-minute chart, it does look to me like we do want to come down ever so slightly. So I'm actually going to short sell this. I'm going to short sell at 10x leverage. So I'll set my leverage up there, and I am going to short sell $1,000 worth of tether on this trade. Now I may easily get stopped out on this, but like I say, this is just for the sake of the video. So you can see my total is now 1,005, because that takes into consideration the 0.025% fee times by 10, which would be the leverage. And now we're going to enter that trade. So there we go, just a quick reminder of what I'm about to get myself into, and I'll confirm that trade. So now we see my profit loss. I'm already losing money on this one, which is fine, but I wanted to show you how I can alter the settings on this take profit. So it's easier for me to work out where I want to take the profit if I'm looking at the price. You can set the amounts, which is the percentage wise of how much money you're looking to make or lose, but I prefer to work these things out on price. Now because I'm short selling this, I want to short sell it. I'll only make a short trade. Maybe I'll trade this all the way down to $41, which is a 5.57% profit, and my profit will only be 55.78, but I'm prepared to go in for that trade. So a bit of a scalpy trade, and if it goes the wrong way, it goes the wrong way. So now I've altered my stop loss and my take profits. It's all in there, and it's all automated. So if you're used to margin trading, this won't be this will be like something that you're completely used to, but this is basically how this trading platform operates, and we'll leave it at that. And you don't necessarily need to see if this trade works out or not. It was just for the sake of this. Now I am going to be making tutorials on this platform, more in depth, and I suppose a bit more of a glossy feel to the way that these trades operate. But that's the basics of the trade. Again, we can trade any of these cryptocurrencies, which there's a number of. We can see all of the ones on the main page, which are pretty much all the ones that you'd expect to see. So XRP, TRX, Litecoin, Ethereum Classic, EOS, DOT, Polkadot is there, Bitcoin, obviously, Bitcoin Cash and Atom, and there's also another area where you can find Cardano, Basic Attention Token, Dash, KNC, Chainlink, even Uni token is there. So there's quite a range of assets for you to trade. Some of these extremely volatile, and it's nice to know that you can short some of these as well, such as Uni. This has been an epic short recently, but like I say, it's nice to be able to have that option to be able to do leverage trading on some of these. some of these tokens. But you'll see that the trading fee is slightly higher for that of crypto, but it's still lower than all of the others on the market. 0.05 is definitely the lowest fee I've ever seen. So this all makes a big difference, by the way. I know I keep going on about how low this trading fee is, but it does make a really big difference, especially if you're holding trades for a couple of days or over a week. All that money adds up, and you'd rather it be in your pocket than in the pocket of the exchange. So you can get up to 258 free USDT that will be used to offset trading fees for simply setting up your account, basically. So set your username, set up your account with your phone number, conduct a demo trade. But on top of all of those, which is basically used to offset your trading fees, like I say, you can get this aspect in here, which is your daily mining. Okay, so this is another interesting area that happens, well, more than once a day, but it accumulates basically over time. So you don't have to come on here daily. You can come in here whenever you like, and you basically click and mine out of this cliff face each one of these tokens. So I suppose it's different in one way. You know, it's different. I've not seen anything quite like this. But once you've clicked them all like this and accumulated as much as is offered, you can see that you've actually accrued tiny little amounts of each of these cryptocurrencies, which you can then transfer into Tether. So I mean, I've done this a few times already today, so that's like another 8 cents of Tether that I've just mined out of this cliff face. And again, that will be used to offset trading fees. So you don't actually have to use the computer to make these trades. There's an app available for your phone, so you download that and you can go about making your trades as and when the opportunity arises. I know that that's one of the most popular ways that I go about making my trades, because I can't sit on my computer all day. So the app is available for you to download. You can download that through a link on the Bityard website. Otherwise, there is a link in the video description below that you can use if that one wasn't working for you. Other than that, we can have a look at the home page, and I will show you down below here that these are the can't get my words out, regulation and licensing. So you can see that's all been authorized in these countries, so you don't have to worry in the same way that you might be worried at the moment, given what happened to BitMEX. So all of this is very, very good, and like I say, I'm moving up most of my assets over to make trades on this from now on. I think you know, for all the reasons I stipulated before, but it's making me slightly nervous about what happened recently with BitMEX, and you just don't know who that's going to happen to next. But I'm pretty confident it's not going to be happening with Bityard, so I'm very happy to be trading on there from now on. Also, what I was going to mention is that because it's relatively new, there's aspects that haven't yet been developed which are in the pipeline. One of those is called the copy trader. So I don't know if any of you are familiar with eToro, but they have a system in place where you can follow successful traders, and in their case, in eToro's case, it's an automated trade. So you basically set yourself up to follow a certain trader who's got a high win a degree of winning, so a good success rate of making successful trades, and you basically copy them, and that will be implemented, from what I understand, over the next couple of months, which will be a really invaluable asset to Bityard, and something that I don't currently. I'm pretty confident that there's no other crypto exchange that offers that service, and that would be pretty good when that comes in. So there's a number of ways that you can send in your money. You can send it in cryptocurrencies, but you can't actually trade in those cryptocurrencies. So you could send Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, T-Rex, EOS. You can send all that in, but you would then need to convert that into Tether, or you could just send the Tether in directly. Also, you've noticed at the bottom here there's a BYD token, which is the Bityard's native currency. Currently doesn't really serve any purpose, but you do accumulate it on a daily basis. Now, because the Bityard is relatively new, it's going to find its feet, and I'm sure there'll be a purpose for the BYD token, but for the moment you just accumulate it, so why not, you know? So but that's how you bring your money in. You can either send the Tether in directly, or you can send these cryptocurrencies in and then convert them into Tether ready for you to trade. And so that was Bityard in a nutshell. So I appreciate that that was a very brief overview of the entire platform, but I will be making more direct informative tutorials on different aspects of this from now on, so feel free to subscribe to the channel, because I'll be rolling those out over the next few weeks, because like I said at the beginning of the video, I've moved all my assets into Bityard from Bybit because of the fear I've now got that they may not be authorized and regulated to the same standard as Bityard. Bityard are very transparent in the fact that they have been approved for use, and I'm yet to see something like that with Bybit, and I'm just feeling a little bit nervous using an account because I don't want to see that happen to any of the platforms that I'm currently using in the way that it happened with BitMEX recently. So there's a whole range of reasons I've moved into Bityard, and that's one of them. Obviously there's a lot more cryptocurrencies to be traded on here. You've got the derivatives of the indices and the commodities as well. You've got all the freebies that they offer as well on a daily basis. So for me, it's a superior trading platform. So I wanted to bring it to your attention because it is relatively new. I didn't think many people have heard of it. I've never really seen anybody trading it, or I heard of anybody trading with it, but I would suggest you at least download it to trial it on the demo version, see if you get the hang of it. But for me, there's so many reasons to be using this and to move away from those other platforms that are, even though they're more established, I think there may be a ticking time bomb which I would not want to be around in the event that something did happen. I'm not saying it would happen, but I just don't want that kind of stress, and Bityard has definitely alleviated that pressure that was building in the back of my head. Anyway, thank you for watching, and please stay tuned for more, and I hope you have a nice evening. Thanks for watching. Take care.